You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
A lot of big, important football games that people want to be at coming up here on the schedule, and sometimes those tickets are sold out. So where do you turn? Well, you turn to Game Time.
Yeah.
The best secondary ticket marketplace out there. You get premium, panoramic seat views, so you know exactly what you're getting into, and no surprises at checkout if you click the all-in pricing option. And second to none customer service. Game Time's ticket coverage has you. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN, that is DAN, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. I guarantee you will love this app. What time is it?
It's game time, Mike.
I didn't think your timing was great there.
Weird.
It made me uncomfortable.
Usually says Chris.
The way that
for the
you
last
said
week
that.
or so, I've gone like game time. I was like, how can I change this up? I'm trying to keep it fresh. And it's like me and Mike. Me and Mike are having ad sex. Okay, I'm trying to keep it fresh.
No, but it sounded like someone had prodded you with a hot poker in the nether regions. Like it was weird the way that you said that. You weren't enthused about game time.
Look, if I would have just done game time, you guys would have just
that would have been good. I thought that's what we were doing.
He was plenty enthused about the sponsor.
I thought
How can
that's
you
what
not
we were
be?
doing.
Because it's the best out there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he might just be a little rattled because I told him about the coffee table.
Oh, boy.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Video, please find my father in the other room. I saw him rummaging around there somewhere. Did he leave? We missed. He escaped. He left out a side door. Okay, thanks. I'm glad everybody here does what I tell them to do.
He's in the bathroom, I'm being told.
He's in the bathroom. Last time I saw him out there, his hand was in that plate of bacon. I mean,
I saw him rummaging around, and I wanted to catch him in his natural environment. He loves coming around and just eating Fig Newtons. So we will try and locate my father and see if we bring you that video shortly. We will also have some off-roading for you. Where did Lucy go this weekend?
the game, Harvard, Yale. The game.
Yeah, was it a more staid environment? Was it a more tepid tailgating environment than the average SEC school, or because
she told us that the kids were reluctant to go on camera. They didn't want, they're not looking for clicks.
Because they're smart.
Yeah, future leaders of America.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
So wait a
Bigger
minute.
fish to fry.
So wait, do we like what she? Has anyone seen what she was making this weekend? Not just what we're going to play in moments, but what she was making this weekend. Did it seem a stuffier environment that she was walking into because it was Harvard Yale? Yes.
I mean, it has to, right?
I haven't seen it yet, Dan. I wish I could answer.
Well, I don't know if she was active on social media this weekend. I tried to check out a little bit on social media. It's blissful. It's lovely. It really is. Everyone should try it.
Go for a walk.
It's
amazing.
A great untreated international addiction that we don't nearly talk about enough in the addiction category.
I only got to see one picture. Lucy got to hang out with Handsome Dan, the Yale Bulldog.
Wow.
Nice.
He is handsome.
Let's get in a moment to that sound. But before we do that, Stugotz, I want to get your thoughts on something here. Did you see how everything ended in New York with the Giants on Friday? and Daniel Jones and the Daniel Jones era, for whatever it is. The 4 or 5 years that the Giants spent arguing about whether he was the quarterback franchise of the future before they cut bait.
I think the Giants always knew. The problem was they went to Minnesota, won a playoff game. Daniel Jones played well in that playoff game, and they were kind of forced to sign him to a longer-term deal.
Well, if they always knew, you don't have to do that, and they didn't know, and so they wasted a lot of time on the Daniel Jones era. But Daniel Jones was really classy about the whole thing, and then when I'm leaving on Friday, Mike, because we obsess over our quarterbacks, as I'm saying goodbye for the weekend, Mike, is Daniel Jones waived, and now he's available to a variety of teams that maybe he could resurrect it with. But he was very kind in the way that he read a letter and said goodbye and handled it all, I think, with grace. And so Daniel Jones had a career where he made a lot of money and had very little success, and somehow leaves New York kind of unscathed. And so Elle Duncan was making fun of, I guess, the way that he read his goodbye to the fans at a press conference. And let's hear that sound.
Normally reserved taking the L for Fridays, but Giants quarterback Daniel Jones just did something so inexplicable that we made an exception. After being benched this week, Jones took to the podium to say goodbye to the franchise and fans, but with like 7 games left in the season.
All right, I wrote something down just to make sure I say it the right way.
I'm sorry, you have to write this down? Didn't you go to Duke?
The opportunity to play for the New York Giants was truly a dream come true, and I'm extremely grateful to the Mara and Tisch families for the chance to play here. The Giants are truly a first-class organization, and I have nothing but genuine respect and appreciation for the people who have built it and who helped carry on that tradition. Thank you to all my teammates, coaches, and staff that have done so much for me these past 6 years. Of course, this season has been disappointing for all. I'm excited for the next opportunity. I know that there's a lot of good football in front of me, and I'm excited about that. To all the fans, I have deep respect and appreciation for your passion and love for the Giants. The fans are a huge part of what makes playing for the Giants so special. Thank you.
You guys think he had this saved in his notes since like 2020?
In all seriousness, DJ, I could have saved you like 90 seconds. A rewrite.
Sorry you paid me $108 million for one playoff win, and I look forward to reviving my career as Brock Purdy's backup. The end.
Not a bad landing spot.
God damn.
So that was the response of Rich Gannon as well on SiriusXM, and I'm curious what Stugotz thinks of everything that I'm putting in front of you here, because Rich Gannon does a show with a gentleman I think named Bruce Murray on SiriusXM.
Ah, Murr.
And they were really precious about what Elle had done to Daniel Jones there. They got upset by this. So watch Bruce Murray ask this question of Rich Gannon, former MVP of the league, and then I want to get your thoughts on this back and forth.
You know, we all fall into the trap of going after the lowest hanging fruit. But I take issue with a female on ESPN who goes by the name of Elle Duncan, and I went to her Twitter feed to see if, since this controversy has erupted, if she provided any kind of apology, which she hasn't. You can check her out on Twitter, at Elle Duncan ESPN.
Why bother?
When she went yesterday, and after Daniel Jones produced a heartfelt news conference saying goodbye to the New York Giants, and as you said, Rich, was accountable for the failures that he was part of as he moves on to the next stage of his career, and she decided to mock that. Not just the performance, by the way, on Sunday, but the individual himself, to the point where he said, I wrote these words down because I wanted to make sure I shared them properly. You're emotional. And she said, oh, I thought you went to Duke. You had to write them down? And then she went on to say, I could have simplified it for you. I stole your money or something. I won one playoff game. This is from an organization, by the way, who's firing people left and right. And I wonder how she would take kindly if we made fun of her colleagues that are getting fired right now. I wonder how she would take it if she got fired.
So that was the question that he sent Rich Gannon's way.
I mean, who takes getting fired well?
And here's Rich Gannon to protect as well the precious Daniel Jones.
And, you know, here's a quarterback, Bruce, that came to the Giants, was not an easy situation, went through coaching changes, coordinator changes, system changes. and just hasn't gotten the results. And yet he stood at the podium yesterday, and what a class act. He just basically accepted responsibility for his part in it. Said he could do better, he could play better. And then you have somebody. And by the way, I don't know who Elle Duncan is, Bruce. I don't know that anyone even really watches SportsCenter anymore, and so I don't spend a lot of time at that channel. But here's a gal who's obviously never played the game, but she's going to say something really negative and nasty about somebody who just lost their job. I think that they're better than that, and hopefully she gets reprimanded by her bosses there to say this is not who we are.
He also said as they went to break, Rich Gannon said, I'm gonna call Daniel Jones. Give him a call to look
at me, Louie.
I'm all for it. Let's be more gentle with the athletes, sure. But Daniel Jones is where we're going to start with it. It was awfully soft. He was terrible as their expectations quarterback. He won a playoff game, and they gave him a ton of money. And did you see what Saquon Barkley did last night?
Now, if Barkley's still with the Giants, it wouldn't make a difference. But your larger point is...
Right. But I'm just surprised by the amount of holding him like a Fabergé egg when I didn't think we got that in that market. Since 2017, the teams that have lost the most in that sport are the Giants and the Jets. Mm-hmm. He was drafted very high. He was an unpopular pick. He was thought to be a reach, and he wasn't a very good quarterback who ended up getting a good amount of money that at least in part is the reason that Saquon Barkley now plays for your division rival. It was a disaster. I'm all for let's be more gentle. I'm just surprised that he reads a letter and that's what gets gentle.
He won a playoff game that unfortunately set the Giants franchise back about a decade. But he is being treated well on the way out. Dan, he's doing this at the same time that Aaron Rodgers is playing quarterback and making a stink of everything in this city, and Daniel Jones just flying under the radar. He knows the fans aren't happy. He knows the organization's not happy, and yet he still found it within himself to step up to a podium and deliver it. He wrote it down. That's fine. Went to Duke. I understand the shot there. But he wrote it down, and he gave a heartfelt apology about a team that has been very good to him. And so I think that kind of stands out.
Billy questioned the heartfelt.
When you write it down,
put it on the poll, Juju at Le Batard Show. Is it heartfelt when you're reading it?
And when I heard what Elle did, which, by the way, happened before Daniel Jones got cut, everything that we actually experienced there all happened before Daniel Jones was actually cut on Friday, which does provide some interesting detail here. What Elle did there is what Stugotz does on our show routinely. Yeah. Routinely. I think also part of this is that it's Elle that is getting this reaction, and there was certainly some... there was a little bit of extra seasoning on what the two gentlemen had to say about Elle there, and I don't think that someone like Stugotz ever encounters that kind of criticism.
Exactly. Just plainly, he just said, there's a female on ESPN by the name of Elle. You could have just said Elle Duncan.
They also said a gal.
Who never played the game.
This is the part we're talking about.
But I take issue with a female on ESPN who goes by the name of Elle Duncan.
She could just be by Elle Duncan on ESPN.
Well, the question is, what if Randy Moss said it? What if someone else said it? What if Rex Ryan said it? What if a guy said it?
And intentionally gave out her social media handle so his listeners can force-feed hate her way.
I just simply wanted to point out I wasn't even... Why you guys got to put gender in everything?
Sorry.
He started it.
I'm just teasing you. That's my job. I usually do that, but I just heard the way that our show sounds because yes, of course, you guys are obviously right. Don't make it gal, don't make it female. That's correct. Everything that you're saying. I'm just still surprised though at the precious taking care of the Giants quarterback. That's not what Eli Manning played under in terms of scrutiny. The franchise, New York football, is the worst in the sport. Let me explain to you what it is, if I may, that we're presently watching with the Detroit Lions, because 20 years before Greg Cote was born, they were also 10-1. The Detroit Lions are ruling that sport with the positive story, Stugotz, of dragging everybody. They're the worst franchise in the history of the sport.
Oh, the Jets.
In our adult lives, there has been no worse franchise in football than the Detroit Lions. They've got the best team in football. And over the last 8 years, the thing that has lost the most in the sport is the Giants and the Jets. The Jets are an international laughingstock. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be put on IR here, according to Diana Rossini, or benched in the next couple of games.
Or released also came up as a thing, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ryan Tannehill never going to play again? Because everyone's just, Ryan Tannehill's going to come in, he's going to take over a team at the end of the year, he's going to lead them into the playoffs. It's like, well, no, now people are going to be fighting over Daniel Jones and possibly Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Tannehill just waiting for the right opportunity.
He waited too long.
Yeah, he did, actually. Now Daniel Jones is out there. It's like, shit.
Right. With the Niners.
Everybody wants in the Daniel Jones game because we've all seen that he's athletic and he can run a little bit. And he
won a playoff game.
And he's got accuracy. I would ask you all, what do you make of Saquon Barkley last night, and what do you make of what Saquon Barkley looked like with the Giants? As Neighbors, you heard him after the game. Let's get that sound here, because already, Stugotz, I think we can all agree we've seen enough. We didn't need to see that much. We all know Neighbors as a talent is somebody who's one of the best receivers in the league, correct? So
that's fair.
We saw that immediately, even playing with Daniel Jones. But with this guy got for Daniel Jones, Stugotz, Daniel Jones is now out with the Giants.
Well, you remember the video. Joe Schoen wanted to take a quarterback, the Giants general manager. They ended up taking Neighbors, though, because they're stuck with Daniel Jones.
They were stuck with Daniel Jones. Now they start over and will look for a quarterback. But here's Neighbors after the game yesterday as they get dragged by the Bucs.
Go out there first, second quarter, don't get the ball, start getting targets at the end. Can't do nothing. Start getting the ball when it's 30-0. What you want me to do?
Why in the first half are they not looking at you?
I don't know. Talk to Dave about that. Talk to Dave.
That's some good quality gum chewing there.
It is.
Spectacular.
It was fresh. He literally took it out of the wrapper right before he started.
Let me try and concentrate. Let's play that sound again, and I just want everyone to concentrate on the amount of smacking and really the amount of Giants tension, of pressure, of we are a bad football team that you can hear in the grinding of every smack of that gum.
Go out there first, second quarter, don't get the ball, start getting targets at the end. Can't do nothing. Start getting the ball when it's 30-0. What you want me to do?
Why in the first half are they not looking at you?
I don't know. Talk to Dave about that. Talk to Dave.
That's an angry chew. He's so right.
It's such a good quote. I can't do nothing. What you want me to do?
At 30-0.
Yeah. As Baker Mayfield is mocking your Italian quarterback, and the highlight of that game. By the way, this celebration.
I love him.
This made me laugh for a couple of different reasons. Not just because Baker gets to enjoy himself, and it's just fun watching him win, and it's more fun watching him with Mike Evans back. He held them afloat while all their skill position guys went down.
It's just fun watching him play. He loves football, man.
It is fun watching him play. He got a stinger trying to grab the ball. And right before that celebration, what made me laugh is, so he's weaving through the secondary, jumps up in the air, and barely gets it over the goal line, lands on his back, and the ball, off his stomach, springs 10 yards in the air.
Yeah.
As he barely gets over it. It might have been a fumble. It wasn't. They reviewed it, and he was a little bit over, but he was on his back. The ball springs up, and he immediately goes to mocking Tommy DeVito's celebration and doing the Italian. It's too hyped up, though, is it not? It's too.
No, you have to go over the top if you're mocking it. Yes, you have to.
You do?
Just to make your point. Yeah.
What did that make the score of that game? Was it 21-0?
I'm not sure.
What a disaster the Giants are.
That was great by Baker because people were wondering whether or not he got into the end zone. You have to get up very quickly and just start celebrating, just to throw the refs off the scent,
I think he's right about that. Even though I guess they kind of ruin all that with the replays these days.
Hey, it's Roy, and as you guys know, I love to grill. My barbecue team won first place at the Key West Invitational. I beat Greg Cote in the Turkey Cook-Off. I think of myself as a pretty decent cook, and Omaha Steaks has the best food to put on your plate. I can marinate and season a ribeye, cook it to medium rare, and enjoy a good dinner thanks to Omaha Steaks. Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. This year, skip the holiday hustle and bustle and save 50% off site-wide during the cyber sale at omahasteaks.com. Plus, get a $30 reward card when you shop early and score an extra $30 off with promo code DAN. With 5 generations of experience, Omaha Steaks consistently delivers the world's best steak experience. And the gifting experts have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages starting at $89.99. From legendary steaks to mouth-watering desserts and more, save 50% off site-wide during the cyber sale at omahasteaks.com. Plus, all listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code DAN and a $30 reward card when you shop early. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code DAN. Minimum purchase may apply.
Stugotz here for LinkedIn. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they have made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. 2.5 small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/PREP to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Holidays on the house at DraftKings Casino. With this season's offerings, you'll unwrap everything on your list. Exclusive games, huge jackpots, and exciting rewards. We're offering a warm welcome to new players with $100 instantly in casino credits with just a $10 wager. Plus, everyone can get in on the action with a holiday reward every week. So, sign up with code DLS because the holiday cheer is here. Only on DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Opt-in required. Casino credits are non-withdrawable and expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos.
Don Le Batard.
But it's just his titties are sitting on the shelf that is his belly.
Stugotz.
He said titties, and it like shocked me a little bit. I wasn't quite prepared for titties.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Did you guys see the one game? There were a couple of things that happened yesterday that I thought were interesting. One of them, Chicago, it looked like, was going to knock off Minnesota before everything happened at the end. They converted on 3rd and 3 to Keenan Allen. It looked like he made an amazing catch. But then they went to review, and he had like a toenail out of bounds. But in the interim, the Bears were trying to get to the line and not allow them the replay, and they got the replay, and the whole game changed after that, where Minnesota never trailed again. I know the game was tied late, but Chicago was on its way to doing something with the replay that I thought that was interesting, because they also, in another game, used a border cam that they were saying, Mike Pereira was explaining that not all stadiums have border cams, so therefore a border cam that had caught a play that should have been reversed, they couldn't use that angle to do it. And I thought, man, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, you've got the technology to make it right, but because some stadiums don't have border cams, Pereira was explaining, then you don't get the border cam as part of the review.
What's the dumbest part of that? That not all the stadiums have it, or that they just wouldn't at least take...
Not all the stadiums having it would be the
dumb. No, but I would
if you have it, though, I mean,
no, but I would say that the dumb part of it is you've got proof that something should be overturned, and you can't use it as proof because not all stadiums have a border cam. That... When he said it, I'm like, that can't be true. That cannot be something that they're deciding not to review because of a border cam situation. I immediately thought that that's something that couldn't be so. But if Pereira at this point has the credibility that you assume if he's saying it, it's just so, correct? He does have that credibility. He doesn't get these things wrong. So then how the hell does that happen? How the hell do you have the proof on something in a border cam situation? I didn't think I'd be talking this much about border cams today.
Interesting, yes.
I didn't.
Right. But I understand why you are. I mean,
the point that I was initially making on the Keenan Allen play, Stugotz, is Eberflus is going to get fired because his name is Eberflus.
Yes. Should have been fired already.
Right, but he's going to get fired.
Never should have been hired.
That team can't win, but they had that game. Like the difference in that game was nothing. It was the play I'm talking about is an amazing athletic play that looked like a catch to everyone involved, and one toenail was out, and as they tried to rush to the line to get the playoff so they couldn't do it, in a moment of good coaching, Minnesota stopped the play.
It's a game of inches, Dano.
Well, it's not just a game of inches. Those third and fourth downs become so important that it's the difference between Chicago being 4-7 and 7-4. Like, they've lost 3 games like this. We'd be talking about Caleb Williams totally different, even though he's getting sacked 8 times a game.
The Bears are 5-18 in one-score games under Matt Eberflus.
Oof. Wow.
I mean, awful.
He's been in that many, huh?
Pretty crazy.
But like, I could say the Dolphins have been in equal amount of close games, but them you want to write off. But the Bears are close to being good. Like, what
does that mean?
I can't figure you out.
The Chiefs have only played close games for the last 2 years.
That's our point, kind of, with all this. That every team, these teams aren't that far apart. And like, I want you to believe in the Dolphins, Dan. That's really what's at the crux of this.
He's not going to do it, man.
I do love that became about the Dolphins.
But it's not that I don't believe in the Dolphins, Chris. I will say to you, their offense is a special thing when they're healthy. That's not up for dispute. They're going to score about 30 a game if Tua's okay, but the whole thing's built on something fragile. And beyond that, they're going to have to go on the road and win 3 of these games. Maybe they win out and then get a home game, but you're going to have to win 3 road games. And so while I want to believe their offense can do something that would be a reason for hope and that they would be closer to what it is that they were last year than what it is that they've looked like this year, I just don't believe that they're as good as the best. And I don't know how many different times you want Buffalo to prove that to you.
I think to Billy's point on this being Tua's biggest game of his career, more so than just the playoff implications, I want to see Tua play well in the cold. If he plays well in this game against the Packers, that will at least give us something to be like, okay, maybe he can do this down the road.
You need proof.
So it's just like, so there is value in this game of just show me you can play well in the cold.
But can I ask this question and just, I don't know if it's a stupidity to ask you this question. The way that they play offense, if it's cold and windy, right? Not just cold, but if the elements are actually something that affects play.
By the way, it's going to be cold and rainy and windy in Green Bay on Thursday.
Are you sure rainy? I thought it was supposed to be dry but very cold.
I see rain.
Okay.
They also have been playing offense differently as of late. Like, they haven't been just throwing it over the top because that's been taken away from them. They've been doing a lot of shorter passes. They've been kind of getting what they've been given. So their offense isn't exactly the same as it was last year, which may benefit them in the cold.
To Billy's point, Tua has the lowest average depth of target in the NFL at 5.6 yards. He has the quickest average release time. He's one of 4 quarterbacks averaging a positive EPA on throws behind the line of scrimmage, and they've been able to attack the middle part of the field a lot better with, medium level passes as opposed to just bombs. Tua, since returning, hasn't thrown an interception on a pass over 15 yards. So they're using the shorter part of the field. They're using motion a lot more, and they're even able to establish passes that aren't just over the top. That should help in the cold. All of that was per the Ringer.
But to Dan's point, we're asking a Dolphin, and it's asking a lot. Do you have confidence? Now, I'm fine with it. I just want them to get to the playoffs, because you get to the playoffs, you have a chance. But they're going to have to go on the road and win 3 games against like Pittsburgh, Baltimore, the Chiefs, Buffalo, something like that. All outdoors, all cold weather places.
Let me do it another way, though, okay? Because you are right. They have been creative over the last 3 games, playing subpar teams over the last 3 games.
And playing at home.
Yes. But the question that I haven't fully gotten out to you, because, yes, they are playing differently the last 3 games or 4 games, using motion, shorter stuff. Last year, he got rid of the ball just as quickly, and they had per yard more downfield throws last year than this year. But I simply assume it. And you guys tell me if you think I'm wrong. That's like a Ferrari in the snow. That shit's not going to work in the snow. That stuff, if it's windy out there and everything is on timing and everything else, I don't believe that whatever that thing is going to out-physical what Philadelphia and Detroit are. I know they're in the other conference,
right.
But how they're going to play in the snow, or for that matter, how Baltimore and Pittsburgh are going to also going to play in the snow, because they're not as precision and timing oriented, and so therefore, in perfect conditions, yes, of course, healthy, that's fine. But now I make it something that's slop. I assume it doesn't work in the snow. It's never mind that I need proof. I'm like, that shit's not working in wind.
So I agree with you, which is why Chris is intrigued by this game coming up, because he needs proof. He wants to see them do it. I agree with you. But you also understand that I'm saying Josh Allen works in snow. Yes, of course. And it works in the sun as well. It works when he's playing outside of the snow, too. I am with you. I think the Dolphins' offense, it's why last year we were saying, I remember me and Greg having that conversation about the Dolphins have to get the 1 seed or the 2. They have to play some home games in the playoffs because their game doesn't travel. Miami collapsing in December, that is not choking. That's environment happening to something that doesn't work in that environment.
Well, they've choked at home the past couple of seasons in December also. But if you're playing Detroit or if you're playing Philadelphia, it's best case scenario because you're in the Super Bowl and you're playing in a dome. So that's not going to be an issue.
I just made it them instead of Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But you like a game dragged down into the muck against a Pittsburgh when the strongest thing you have, like when I say Ferrari, look, forgive me. I'm saying that I assume that we all understand this is a precision machine that would work the way that Aaron Rodgers worked when he won his one title. It's go through domes. Go through domes because you don't have those one-game samples where wind can throw off accuracy, and all of a sudden your greatest weapon doesn't get to be your greatest weapon anymore.
Oh, do the Dolphins need the Chargers in the first round?
Please. But I don't think anyone thinks they're going to go on a run and win the Super Bowl, right? Like, that's not what we're saying. I think that you're just excited with the way the team is looking and think there's a chance to make it to the playoffs. And again, like, what is a successful season? Because if they win a playoff game, granted, it's not the Super Bowl that you were hoping.
That's
but
success.
It is a step forward, and you don't want it to end there. But
where are you on this? I want to pin you down, and I want to move this off. I want to move off this subject. Yes,
I'm trying to pin you down.
No, you. What do you mean? I've been pinned down.
No,
already.
You can't even tell us what a successful season is.
Baby.
I thought this season was about getting to the Super Bowl. I thought that's what we were all doing. I thought we were all in.
Your quarterback.
But I thought we were all in on contracts and everything else, that this year was a Super Bowl season.
Who is pinning who in?
Yeah, let's all pin each other.
Right, what's happening here?
Well, I want to pin Billy in on the idea of, he has told us, and he's enthusiastic now. He says they're in the mix. He's been saying for 3 weeks, even when they were 3-6, he was saying that they're in the mix.
They were.
Right. Is this you pinning him? What are we doing?
I'm confused. I feel like I'm going to be misrepresented here.
You pinning him in or down?
Yeah,
I'm going to pin him in and down.
Wow, both.
Friend of Dorothy. I kicked out.
You're in a bad mood today.
No, it's just, I want him publicly on the record, because this is what happens. He's like you this way. He says things and then denies that he says them, and then we have to go look it up. But so I want to get you on the record with where you are, because you're making me, Guy, I remind you, I'm not allowed back on the bandwagon.
Correct.
You kicked me and Jeremy off of this bandwagon because of how it is that we reacted to Tua's last injury. You told us we can't be a part of this, and everything you said was going to happen has since happened, where the Dolphins have won those games, and it's a back in the mix conversation. So what is a successful season to Billy Gill? What is Billy Gill saying the Dolphins are going to be, as opposed to pinning me down and in? Wow. What do you think, in and down?
I mean, if they're able to make it into the playoffs from where they were, I think that's a good season. It's very disappointing from where you were at the beginning of the season, but to turn it around and make the playoffs, I think would be a good season. Then once you get there, you want to see them take another step. Now, unfortunately, like on their timeline, you're kind of running out of time here with this core of people. So you need to do more than just win a game. If they get in, they could potentially be on a run. Like, I think best case scenario with the way the AFC is right now
is you get Kansas City. Like, you have Buffalo jump Kansas City, and you get Kansas City in the first round. Because we saw yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, the Panthers.
You want Kansas
City? The Panthers
That's
almost
the team
got
you
Kansas
want.
City.
I love that we're back here again.
You're not going to get Denver in the first round.
We're talking about 3 seed. We're talking about teams that could realistically be the 3 seed.
You're not
going to
get Denver in the first round.
I thought you were doing all of the AFC.
No, I'm talking about first round get a playoff win. You don't want Buffalo.
You're going to do this
Do you want
again
Buffalo?
with Kansas City?
I'm asking you. Do you want?
We're not saying we want Kansas City. We're saying of our options here, they seem beatable.
Let me be clear. You guys are saying what you're saying. What I'm saying is I do want Kansas City.
Oh no,
that's the team that I'm not doing. Dan, they barely beat Carolina.
Stugotz major penalty. 5 minutes for talking about the Chiefs.
Your opinion is invalid.
What?
You keep questioning them and they keep winning the Super Bowl. You are no longer allowed to have Chiefs opinions.
Eventually, I'll be right.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be allowed to say it around here. You got to get out of here.
By the way, your dad left.
You guys, how can we not execute anything?
We execute. We're like, Poppy, keep meandering. And then he just leaves. What do you want from us?
He got out of there like George Will got out of that strip club.
Would you rather Buffalo than Kansas City? No chance.
The only reason I think that I'd rather Buffalo instead of Kansas City is because you play them so often that you're not afraid of them.
That's
that
true.
You're just that you're.
But they beat us so bad.
They do every time. But Kansas City beats everybody. They beat everybody.
But barely.
Play Off-Rohding from this weekend and the stuffy Harvard Yale people.
But the rumors are that Harvard is better than Yale just academically. What do you have to say about that?
Come see me in the classroom. One-on-one in the classroom, note-taking contest, whatever class you want to take. I'll 1v1 you. Come find me in the classroom.
Hi, Dan. It's me, Lucy, and we are here in Cambridge, Massachusetts at one Harvard University where their most famous alum, Pablo Torre, attended. We're here for the game, Harvard-Yale, to really capture the experience. And also, potentially, if it worked out, it would be nice if I found a husband here. But we're here to work, both for our job and work to find a husband so I don't have to work anymore. How do you just feel about Yale?
Who?
Are people who go to Yale entitled or no?
I mean, we're in New Haven, man. We come out of the slums, you know. Like, people at Harvard, I mean, you got such nice buildings around. I feel like it's easy to take it for granted, you know.
And how much do you hate Harvard?
This much.
They're cocky, they're pretentious, and their food sucks.
Everything is about Harvard in Boston. You go to the airport, and it's all Harvard, Harvard, Harvard. There's more than Harvard in Boston. Harvard sucks, okay?
There's a reason you're interviewing us right now, right? Because you guys want to be the best of the best in your craft.
I personally don't care that much. I'm more so here for the vibes. I'm here to make friends. Yeah. I think we need more peace and community, actually.
Wow. So what's your record? So who has the Ivy League title already? Wait, so who has more Rhodes Scholars? Who has more Nobel prizes?
More Rhodes Scholars!
Oh my gosh!
I have heard that this game is much better at Yale. Do you agree?
I agree. You have mean people here at Harvard. It's Boston. You gotta expect it.
What makes it more fun?
You don't have to pay $75 to get into a bad party.
So the behind the scenes of Off-Rohding is we have a producer here. He has been out here for a while just begging somebody to talk to us. Poor boy. He's just a poor boy begging for someone to do an interview. I'm going to pretend to be you, and you're going to be a Yale Harvard student who doesn't want to talk to us. Hey, we work for the Dan Batard show. We're doing interviews. Would you like to be on camera?
Like college interview?
Yeah, like we're just asking.
No.
Oh, okay. Is Yale a safety school?
100%.
Some people just don't reach for the stars. Some people settle.
All I'll say is once I found out I got into Harvard, I threw out those Yale essays. I didn't even apply.
Safety school, safety school, safety school.
How many of these kids do you think got denied by Iowa? Probably a lot of them. They probably all applied. Couldn't get in. What is the worst grade you have ever gotten?
A-.
So
I tried to experiment in pre-med. I did end up with a C+.
Pre-med or econ, just drop it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
You're saying like you didn't just say the worst grade you ever got was an A-. By the way, if you went to one of the Ivies, let's talk. Mina Kimes or Pablo Torre?
I'm gonna go Mina.
I'll pick Mina.
I'll say Pablo.
Pablo.
Mina, I don't know.
Mina went to Yale and Pablo went to Harvard. You both lost.
Yeah! Bula, bula!
I'm gonna go Mina to go kick fucking rocks.
What is this?
This is the Dan Le Batard
I love this
show.
I watch it every Thursday.
Yeah, every Thursday. We're also on, but not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday when we're also on.
Well, those days I'm busy.
Dan, these are the future politicians, congressmen, doctors, lawyers, CEOs of this great nation, and I definitely just saw one of them break their leg trying to storm the field. Harvard Yale was actually pretty cool. It was actually a lot of fun. The vibes, they were electric. Next week, we're also going to the game. Michigan, Ohio State. Didn't find a husband here. Kind of a bummer, though. He's probably in a Princeton tailgate or something. I don't know.
Do you like apples?
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Stugotz here. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they have made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites, so if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.